right. It was a big game Friday when the Aztecs hosted the Boise State Broncos, trying to keep their undefeated home record intact and secure a top seed in the Mountain West tournament bracket. It was another slow start for the Aztecs, however, as they battled their way in this heavyweight matchup that it lived up to the hype, but it wasn't to be when Max Rice knocked down a mid-court heave in overtime. It was the end of the season, a good season, but not a great one. The Aztecs have been taking a lot of their own medicine this year, guys, and well, this game was another tough pill to swallow. And well, ironically, it was the outright champion Utah State Aggies that beat the hated New Mexico Lobos on Saturday that secured the Aztecs number 5 seed in the conference tournament, narrowly missing the dreaded Wednesday play-in game. So up next for the Aztecs is a Thursday rubber match opponent against the UNLV Rebels in their home court. And, well, it leaves us all to wonder, will the Aztecs stop this 2-game slide into March Madness, or can they continue? Can they continue their historical dominance over UNLV in Las Vegas? Welcome, everybody. This is the Sons of Montezuma podcast. It's your host, Mateo.
I'm an Aztec warrior. Ah!
You could find me at Mateo San Diego on Twitter.
I'm an Aztec warrior. Ah!
You could find us at Sons of Monty on Twitter as well. Sons of Montezuma on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Welcome you guys to the online chat. We see it is very busy, and that makes me feel very good because it's the end of the year. We all labored through this together, guys. We thank you guys for joining this live stream, this episode, and being there all season with us. These guys to my right and to my left of me have been with me all season. We are wrapping up our second and a half full season recording together. You guys know him. You guys all love him for some reason. I don't know why. Even though you can't stop him, you can only hope to contain him. You guys still love him so much. I don't understand why.
The fiend of a microphone. I'm the microphone fiend.
What's up, Fiend? How are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm feeling the love. Feeling the love of the people.
Oh, you should, man. You should, man. And he went from East County to East Tahoe. He's grinning. He's grinning at all the Fiend action that's going on here. But we love him, and some of you love to hate on him. East County to East Tahoe. What's up, Mike? It's good to see you, man.
What's up, guys? Yeah, Fiend is beloved, man. I'm beloved, but I don't know. I always say if you don't like me, there's probably something wrong with you. You know?
Oh yes. Guys, it's great to have you, together once again. And the season is over. As I read the opening monologue, it wasn't a great season. Let's be real. It was not. It had its great moments. I think we all came into this season with high hopes, high anticipation, high expectations of monster season, a San Diego State miracle season. Senior night was kind of a microcosm of the season. It really was. I think we've all kind of bit our tongue in a lot of areas, like let the season play out. At the end of the season, we can judge the book, not just from the cover. We read through all the pages, and now we're here. We're at the final chapter. It's March Madness. We are here. Guys, we got a lot to get into. So before we even get into the tournament, into the seeds, the brackets, all that good stuff, guys, bear with us in the chat before we get to all your guys' comments, questions, and concerns. This Boise State game, it was a tough one. It lived up to the hype. I think it lived up to Mike's rivalry attitude towards Boise. So I want to give Mike the floor first this time because, boy, it added another chapter in this rivalry between us and Boise. I think it absolutely did. What are your initial takeaways from the game, man?
I mean, I don't know. I was thinking about it. Is it a rivalry? They beat us 6-7. I don't know if it is. I mean, that to me, that's just that they just own us. At this point, unfortunately, much like we own other teams. So proof is in the pudding, is in the eating of it, man. 6-7. And when you have two 10-point leads and you lose it on senior night. I mean, it was tough, man. You know, and then you see Rice hit that three. That's crazy that Lucas, Brown, and Rice basically hit Hail Mary threes from the same exact spot on the floor, right? To basically win the game, all three of them, which is crazy. So, but you know, they just have our number, you know, and I thought we were going to get over the hump when we had those 2 10-point leads, and then the offensive rebounding at the end of the game did us in. Much like it did Nevada. So, you know, you get a rebound here and there, and you probably win the game, and it just everything had to go right for them and wrong for us to lose, and it happened. So, you know, we'll see what kind of team comes out on Thursday, but that was a tough one to lose at home, going for the perfect record since 66, 67. So
I tried to tell you guys. Max Rice. I've seen enough of him throughout the years. I mean, what is he in his 6th, 7th year of eligibility? Like, the Mountain West Conference has given us a little bit of a taste of our own medicine, like I said, you know, with a lot of the older players on these teams scattered about. And Max Rice is one of those guys, man. I mean, we don't like him because he's coach's son, right? You're always going to get that rap when you're coach's son. People are not going to like you initially. But the fact that he makes these crazy shots, he has that ability. Like, people are saying, oh, what a lucky shot. He makes so many of those. You wonder, okay, is it luck, or this dude, he's just the X factor. He's just a loose cannon in that type of a sense. So I don't want to say they own us, but they absolutely have the upper hand on us as of late. Boise's a well-coached team, man. They're a well-coached team. I hate to say it. Fiend, can you give us some positives, or is it, you know, I want to get into the negatives, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly. Can we focus on the good right now? Give us some of the good. I don't. You'll get your time to talk about the bad, but what are some of the good things that you saw from this game? Because it was a tightly contested game. Again, we had, like Mike said, 2 10-point leads at one point. We saw some fight from the guys. Trammell was dishing the ball very, very well. I love what I saw from him. Of course, what we see from Saunders is like night and day, since, you know, he's settled into his role on the bench. What are some of the good things that you're taking away, man?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, Trammell being more of a distributor, I've always loved that aspect of his game, and so him really taking that on, and hopefully that continues forward going into, you know, the Mountain West tournament and the NCAAs. Saunders, to see his confidence come back, he's really shooting the best from distance of any of our guys, you know, and so that's good to see. We'd like to have more people join him, but it's good that he's kind of broken out of that slump. Jaden Ledee, again, just carrying us at times, you know, on his back. He's an All-American, in my vote for Player of the Year in the conference. So I mean, those are really the good things, and like you said, battling back again. You know, we know if we're down, we can make a run to bring it back. We're just not getting over the hump, you know, yet. And hats off, credit to Boise, because damn, they made some great plays, especially towards the end of the game.
I mean, I think, dude, you know, Max Rice's three was what it was, but I think the shot that killed us was Agbo's three when we were up by 3 over in the corner right in front of the Boise State bench, and I can't remember who was guarding him, but right in his face. I mean, that was an unbelievable three, dude. I mean, that was the shot to me that was like, shit. The momentum swung completely. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
They made so many big plays, and I like what Sean says in the chat. You know, speaking of luck, we haven't really had any. You know, hopefully that pendulum swings back. I mean, absolutely true. I mean, all of these teams that we are playing are hitting these clutch shots against us. You know, Agbo's three from the corner when he had Parrish like draped all over him, and he nails that corner three, and then Roddy Anderson driving in and getting that bucket where, you know, bounces off the rim a couple of times and goes in. And then, you know, you think back to the UNLV game and Didon Thomas getting that shot off, you know, to put them ahead over Jay Powell, who was guarding him perfectly. You know, it was just a great shot. And like all these players are making these amazing players, these amazing shots, and we're not countering that, and we're not able to get make those. And so I don't know. Is it just inability to play in the clutch? We know that's not the case because Lamont Butler has hit 2 game-winning shots in his career, 2 big ones. So we know they can play in the clutch. It's just sometimes it does come down to luck, and these teams have gotten really lucky against us.
Rewatching the game this morning, trying to go through it with a fine-tooth comb and pick out certain things that, you don't normally see while you're in the game or even on the first watch from TV. The team performed very well. I mean, there were such bright spots. Micah Parrish really seemed like he asserted himself in certain ways that we hadn't seen lately, but then there were a lot of missed open shots, right? I don't think, and nobody's above reproach when it comes to that. Sometimes you just miss shots badly, and it's unfortunate. The good parts are all there. There's so many great things that I saw in the game, but there's so many bad things as well. The slow starts, I know we've been through it already, but it just seems like it's a cycle that we're falling into. Slow starts, battling back, and then just not being able to make the clutch plays at the end. If you look at statistically, every general category, I mean, the Aztecs, I pointed out to you guys, the Aztecs pretty much won this game in every statistical category, minus free throws. I think Boise had 2 more free throws, right? And I know there was another area. Even rebounding, we were out rebounding them. But along with that same cycle, towards the end of the game, all those offensive rebounds went their direction. Some of them were just the way the ball bounces. Some of it is just, we don't have that same front court presence. I think that's when we look at the season as a whole, I think that's an obvious point. As great as Jaden Ledee has been, and he has been amazing. We'll get into our Mountain West player picks and coaches and all of our awards because it is Oscar night, so we're going to get into all that a little later on in the show. But as great as he's been, he's not getting the calls that obviously he was in the out of conference. We've established that. And you talk about luck, Fiend, and I totally agree with you. At the end of regulation in the 4th quarter, Boise ties it up. We get the ball, 7 seconds left. 1 timeout in the holster. Could have called a timeout with 7 seconds, ran a play, right? But, we've seen that before. Sometimes coach doesn't do that. Let it run. Don't let the defense get set. Go down there, get down court. We've seen that many times. Jaden Ledee's inbounding the ball, and you could just see the chemistry of the guys on the court. It was ultra rushed. Let's inbound the court. Let's run it back down court. As Jaden's inbounding, you got Jay Powell on your left. You got Lamont Butler on your right. And he inbounds it to Jay Powell. Now, this is not a knock on Jay Powell. Not one bit at all. But when I got the game on the line with 7 seconds left, that can't happen. It can't happen. You got to get the ball to Lamont, let him work it down the court, and make something happen. It's an honest mistake in my eyes. Just seeing the level of play was very frantic, and that's exactly what we got in that final shot. Micah had a good look. It worked out. He got a good look. Just didn't hit it. But in a sense, at this point of the season, we got to get to that point where it's automatic. Who's getting the ball in the 4th quarter in crunch time. So it's just those type of things towards the end of the game that has just been a repeat. It's been a cycle of these type of, final second blunders, mistakes, oversights. I can't put my finger on it. There's so much good, like I said, to come out of this game, but we're getting to the point where the excuses are going to be out the window. We're getting to the point where it's like survive in advance or we're going home early. Thank God Utah State won. Fiend, you got anything to add to that? Utah State won.
Man, I had to, devalue myself and, cheer for Utah. I couldn't believe it. I had a finger up. I actually had a finger up for their free throws. Like at the very end, I'm like, they cannot lose this game because we're playing on Wednesday and I can't be there on Wednesday. I can only be there on Thursday. And it's going to be very difficult to go 4 games in 4 days. Jaden Ledee playing 35 plus minutes, 4 games, 4 days. We're going to win a tournament title, but that is very difficult. And so I was really, really nervous, and I just screamed out when Darius Brown hit that shot. I mean, just that guy he kind of reminds me of like Marcus Shaver, You remember him like for Boise State when he would make all those like clutch like shots at the end of the game? Like that's kind of how he's sort of like that version of Marcus Shaver. And so yeah, no, I mean good for them. Outright championship for Utah State, just absolutely unbelievable when they were like preseason ranked number 9, and I mean, and they won outright. It's just it baffles me. I mean, so hats off to them. Glad they could help us out, and now it's on to UNLV on Thursday.
Now, Joe Burke says the good news is that we never get blown out and are always in every single game. And that is exactly, Joe, thank you for your comment. That's exactly what a great defense is going to do for you. It's going to keep you in those games. It's going to keep you in the fight with a chance, with an opportunity. Robert Maestas, Mike, he says SD ain't without Ladie. He's a great player. You guys got anything to say about that?
I was trying to read it, but I don't. SD State isn't Dookie without the D. I would think it's more like is Dookie, but whatever. I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, obviously, he's kept us in all these games, and the whole. I was thinking about it. I was talking to somebody, and he was like, "Dude, we're old too. We have enough older guys, seniors that are playing that we shouldn't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? It's not like we're all young. So, and I was like, yeah, you're right. So, but yeah, I mean, Ladie is the cog. He's he's the without him, we're not where we at. But you go into the hypothetical mode. I would be fascinated to see what this team would be like if we didn't have him, because there would be somebody else there, and what would it be, chemistry wise? And you get to the situation, are the guys just leaning on him, and he's kind of having to do everything? Is that kind of a mentality or not? But like, I don't know, man. Like, he's like, if you look, I'd be curious to look at the number of shots he takes per game compared to the total, and how many that leaves for other guys. And so there's not as many shots. And I feel like if they don't hit one, their confidence is like, shoot, I want to shoot again, and then I'm only gonna get 3 or 4 more shots, if that. But the troublesome thing to me on this team is what is going on with Reese. He seems to just be like, he's a scorer. Like, you can see it. I don't know if that ankle's still affecting him from the Fresno game or what, but I didn't expect him to kind of go cold the last couple of games. You know what I mean? Like, you can see he can break out and go big. Like, if you pair him and he starts hitting shots on the outside, and Darian too with Ladie, that opens up the whole middle. And then I told you guys, Lamont is a beast when he just goes to the rim. He could have 12, 13 points a game just from going to the rim, because he's so fast and so quick. And then you get whatever fouls in addition to that. I hope he does that more, because he's fat. He's great at it. And then it opens up, obviously a little bit more of the mid-range and stuff. But, they said on the telecast, I mean, we're the worst shooting team in the Mountain West. We are the worst shooting team in the Mountain West. And I was like, we knew about the threes, but like that just says something about our defense to be 22-9. I kind of said at the beginning of the year, I think we're going to be 24-10. That's kind of what I thought with this team, because I wasn't sure. I wish I was wrong, but we're going to have one more loss somewhere, whether it's in the Mountain West tournament or in the NCAA tournament, maybe 2. But I don't know, man. Like, this team is fascinating to me. I'm not sure. They have the talent. They've played well. And then they just hit, the Mountain West is exceptional this year. So you can't knock into those teams. They've, like you said, they've made shots when we would make shots the years before. And it's just not on our side this year, So
I'd like to say something about that 3-point shooting. Look, last year when we won a Mountain West Conference tournament and we got to the Final Four, we shot in the Mountain West Conference tournament 24% from 3. That is really bad. That's worse than we're shooting it right now. I think we're at like 27% in like the last month. I think we're like 31 overall for the season. I mean, both of them, those are just bad stats. But the reason why we won the Mountain West tournament is because of our 3-point defense. We held opponents last year in the Mountain West tournament to 23.3%. When you go forward to the NCAA tournament, we only shot 31.8% from three, but we held teams to 23.3%. Okay. So that is sort of the difference. It's not just like how you shoot it, it's how you defend the three. And when we let other teams shoot better and we don't defend the three as well as we shoot it, that's when we get into trouble and that's when we lose games. We gave up 40.7% to Boise State 3-pointers. Against UNLV, we gave up 44.4%. Last two games, we've given up over 40% from 3-point range. That not yes, the 3-point shooting is a big concern, but what is also a big concern for me is our inability to close out on shooters on the perimeter, because we saw a bunch of times in that Boise State game where we missed switches and guys were late to close out, and they had wide open shots, and they're a good 3-point shooting team, and they nailed them. And again, if you're going to give up a lot in 3-point percentages, then you need to make up for it by shooting a higher percentage. But if you don't shoot a higher percentage, you need to limit your opponent to a very low percentage, and you need to be, you need to be positive in that comparison.
Man, Mike, back in the day, you would have heard these stats and you would have been like, I don't care, still don't care. I'm very, very proud of the progress that we've made in this show and your growth as
Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Omar Stanley has hit 15 threes this year, all year, and 4 of them are against us. It's stuff like that where I feel like we've seen enough games. I swear to God, I feel like whenever we play a team, it's like, dude, they're just hitting our threes, even though it doesn't, psychologically it feels like that, but statistically it might not be. But yeah, I don't remember when that's a perfect point, because we might shoot terrible at 3, but we're still in all these games. The last 2 games we would have won if even if they shot 35% or 36% instead of 40 and 44. So yeah, I think hopefully that's something they clean up, because if we can do that and stop their threes, that's huge. We have to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if we can improve that 3-point shooting defense, we've proved it last year. We can shoot like crap from outside and still win the tournament.
Yeah.
But you got to be able to lock down on the perimeter, and that's what we're not doing right now. But I also think we have the potential to be a much better 3-point shooting team than we are.
All this is good stuff. I know the chat is appreciating that insight. I agree. I remember last year talking about that with you specifically, Fiend, as far as our closing out on 3-point shooters. It was a big factor then, and it is a big factor now. Okay, before we move on a little forward, well, we got a super. Thank you, T Mac, once again. We thank you. Hopefully you are traveling safe. Let's see. The positive side is that we kept it close even with poor shooting. DT has been racking up assists and playing solid D. I have faith. Number 9 in adjusted D and Ken Palm. Positive vibes from Medellin, Colombia. Thank you, T Mac. Thank you. Fiend, what do you got to say on all this that T Mac, the positivity that he's feeling? I tend to agree with that. The defense is going to keep us there. Got some fine tuning we got to do on 3-point. But from what I've seen with Darian, like I pointed out last night, I mean, he's kind of been in his Tony Gwynn bag, man. I mean, the assist is a bright spot to see. Of course, what's not going to be remembered, unfortunately, is Darian Trammell hitting that huge 3 to tie the game towards the end of regulation. It was a huge, huge shot. It was a great look. Got super high up there and absolutely nailed it. If we would get the win, that shot is going down as a really nice way for him to tie up his time at Viejas, and it didn't work out that way. But and you guys got any comments on T Mac joining us? Thank you again for the super, T Mac. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, T Mac. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, definitely our defense is always going to keep us in games. Despite the poor shooting, I really do love just the way that DT is playing, and I wish one of the things I wish we would do on defense more is I think we're giving too much help sometimes instead of letting our guys kind of defend 1v1, right? We're crashing down. Like we had a situation where someone crashed down onto Roddy Anderson. This isn't Omar Stanley, 6'10", 6'9". This is Roddy Anderson, what, 6', 6'1", and you're gonna double team him and leave a guy wide open for a 3-point shot. I mean, I think we're good enough where we don't have to give as much help defense, and we can keep these guys in front of us. And one of the things I really like is Jaden Ledee. Like, his defense seems to have improved a lot from when he first was, started with the Aztecs, and his ability to switch now onto smaller guys and to be able to stay with them and move his feet is really, really impressive. And so I I I like our defense, except for the 3-point shooting defense. But if we can clean, like you said, if we can clean that up, I think we're going to be really good in this tournament.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you again, T-Mac. Thank you. We are going to take a little break before we bring in a special guest, and we'll pick right back up in the comments because I see you, Steve and Sean. Thank you guys so much, guys. Just a little highlight. I've been very happy to create some kicks. We got some Sons of Montezuma chucks. I'm over here slinging shoes these days now. I went from socks to shoes now, but in the shop, you guys are more than welcome to go check these out. I'm gonna be sporting these at the Mountain West Conference tournament for sure. So you see me flopping around in these chucks, throw something at me. I don't know. Guys, we are very, very happy to bring in, well, a good friend of ours. He helped us out a lot last season, and we're finally getting back to getting him in the fold a little bit. He wrote an article that we're going to be posting tomorrow. It's going to be looking at the team as a whole and the season as a whole. It was really cool to have him. He joined us out in the Final Four in Houston, Texas, and we had him on the live stream back then, which was really awesome. And guys, give it up for he's a coach at Helix High Softball, helps out a little bit, and we got a pleasure to bring him back on the show. It is Mr. Mike, Coach Mike Minjares. What's going on, Mike? What's going on? Can we get a little cheering? Can we get a little cheer? There we go.
Hey guys,
what's going on?
What's up, Mike?
Great to be with you all again. Mateo, Mike, Fiend. Great work. Great conversations, great points. Love what you're talking about. But yeah, happy to be on here.
Okay, before we get to the comments in the chat, man, let us know a little bit about the article, what you touched on a little bit. Give us a little teaser on the article, man.
Yeah, so the article really kind of puts it out there that a lot of fans are feeling disappointed and frustrated. And I think that's right. I think we should be. But I talk about why. Why is that the case? And I think it's because we have expectations for more, not only brought on by last year, but kind of a decade, 2 decades of unprecedented success. And we're spoiled. Aztec fans are spoiled. And so to go 22-9 in this conference, and to know that the difference between 13-5 conference record and 11-7 is a defensive rebound. It's a made free throw. It's a stop. We're so close to being right there that I think the angst that we all feel is warranted, but a little over the top. Let's get real. So that's kind of what I focus on, and I give some reasons as to why we should be hopeful. There's 3 major points about why I think we should be hopeful heading into the tournament.
What's one major point? Because we saw T-Mac. He's got faith. He's believing all the way from Colombia. He's got faith. He's highlighting some of those things that coming into the tournament we should feel hopeful for. I mean, I'm really looking forward to this tournament. It feels like it's a brand new season, right? Postseason. It's like, okay, the regular season's over. Let's get this thing rolling. So what's one point that you put in the article, you think?
All right. Well, I want to say hi to Angelica as well. I see you. Thank you for the shout out on the chat. Appreciate it. But yeah, the number one thing for me, and this goes to being a coach too, when you have the best player on the court, you should feel confident about winning that game. And when we have Jaden Ledee we have the best player on the court in many games, in many cases. He is a beast like we haven't seen in Aztec Nation in years in the paint. We've been clamoring for somebody that could score in the paint, and now we have it. The trouble, as Mike has kind of mentioned, is we need somebody to go along with him. We need Reese Waters to get back to Reese Waters from beginning of the season. We need Trammell to get to the Trammell of Alabama from last year's Sweet 16 game. We need Butler to be the guy that he was last year. This is what we're talking about. But it's that close. But we've got the best player. I mean, he's going to get votes for Player of the Year, if not the Player of the Year for the conference. And when you have the best player on your side, you're in every game with a chance to win. Simple. There we go.
Sean Nelson says hello. I like his question right here. He says, "What do you guys think about trying to get Ledee and Heidi on the court together? Just seems like if there was a secondary inside presence with Ledee, we could get some higher percentage looks." Any thoughts on that, Coach? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I think Sean, just Sean and I used to coach together. So shout out to Sean and his dad, Billy. They're awesome folks. But yeah, I think Sean's got a point. We saw that last year, right? We saw the two in the post last year with a rope kind of being in that presence quite a bit. Ledee coming in and being that presence. And that's really when we took off, when the offense changed to the two guys in the lower post, and we could rebound better. We could score more inside. We could free up our shooters. That's where this team took off. But the problem is, I think the staff has really recognized that they need to keep Ledee as unoccupied as possible, right? They already have 2 and 3 guys on him. You bring another guy in there, it's going to be even more congested, and Ledee needs room. He doesn't have the hops that you would like someone of his size to have. He has difficulty getting up off the ground. And again, that's the only fault I have of his game, is that he doesn't have the hops, but he's got everything else, but he needs room to operate. He needs room to clear out. You may have noticed over the last few weeks heading in before this week, one of his moves that he'd been going to is as soon as he catches the ball, it's a quick elbow. It's a quick shot right to his defender, right in the sternum to kind of knock this defender off balance. But it's done so tightly that it's not like a swinging elbow. And so it doesn't draw the attention of the refs. But he has been using it to get it, boom, knock his big man off of him a little bit to give him that space that he needs to rise and score. And so I don't think you want to bring in another low post there to kind of clog up the middle even more and have another guy on him. But, Sean's right in the sense that if we're struggling and we haven't been able to free him up, does that allow us another option? Does it give somebody that he could pass to? Does it somebody that can rebound on the weak side? I think it's worth a shot if we get behind in the game and we feel like, hey, it's win or go home, and we got to do something. So, I think keep it in the back of our minds, but I see why the coaches aren't doing it.
Do you guys remember, like, when we went to a double post earlier in the year, like Dutcher didn't want the guys shooting from 3, and so he wasn't going to tell them not to shoot from 3, so he just put another double post in there, and that kind of solved that problem. Remember, we haven't really been going back to that. The team is still struggling to shoot from the outside. So I wonder if that might be something that he might want to revisit, like in the Mountain West tournament. I just think it's the other thing is we're going to see. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we saw a lot more zone going into the tournament. You look at what Boise has done and some of these other teams with throwing the zone at us. I'm really surprised that more teams don't zone us, because their philosophy, I mean, if I were the opposing coach, it would be, I'm going to, zone you until you prove that you can hit 3-point shots, and I don't think you can hit them. And but we'll see if the other teams will do that. But again, we'll see if the double post, that would be awesome if we could bring that back, maybe just for a couple possessions a game, as a change up. Like other teams are changing up their strategy. I think if we changed ours up a little bit too, that would be a curveball at them.
I feel like almost them running that 1-3-1 was similar to when we ran it, right, against New Mexico. We had pulled ahead by 10 at that point, and it was almost like that was just a different maneuver of theirs to try to switch the energy up, and it worked. I mean, it got them back in the game, got them their stops that they needed. I think we do need that other post presence somehow, but it's really difficult. I love Jay Powell's game, but he's not necessarily your traditional post guy at all. So it's kind of tricky. Last year, I felt like we had Matt Bradley's ability to kind of post up on smaller guards and, run the offense through him a bit. Haven't really seen that with any of our backcourt players, as far as them getting their shots off. I know me and Mike kind of shared, we love Lamont Butler's game. I mean, his first step and his physical ability as at that guard spot, he could bulldoze his way to the bucket almost at will. Um, I hope that's something that they allow or reinforce him to do more going into the tournament is just get downhill and get to the bucket. I mean, get fouled, go to the line, whatever it takes. That's an easy 10, 12 points a game in my mind, right? In what I would think could happen, but things never work out exactly how you want them to be.
So that New Mexico 1-3-1 game was the exact same date 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's kind of ironic. It kind of come back and whatever. But like the interesting thing is we haven't had anybody else be consistent except for Jaden all year. Everybody is either, Darian's had 0 points, Lamont's had 0 points in the game. I think Reese is the only other one that has like maybe double figure scoring, I think, for the season on average. I think that's it. So we just need some consistency from some guys. You know what I mean? Just like they like Elijah's hitting threes now, which is great. I think I love it, man. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of coming and started figuring it out. And Miles, I love Miles's game. I think sometimes he could slow down a little bit. There's some stupid passes last night though. There's like I remember 2 or 3 dumb passes that I was just like, what are we doing here, dude? And now it's easy for us to say because we're not on the court, right? But when I think it was Elijah was trying to get it to Reese down the left-hand lane right in front of Boise's bench, there was something, it just didn't click. And it was just kind of like, hey, and then, Darian kind of swings it back around and throws it like across court, from, the elbow to like over there. And I think that might've been Reese too. He just wasn't ready for it. So, I know that's only 2 things there, but those are 2, like we've seen that one possession changes a game in our games. 1 or 2 possessions is huge for us in each game. So I'm just befuddled by, man, being up. We had won 27 in a row and leading, with 5 minutes left. So that stat from how many years ago we won 150 or 160 in a row with leading 5 minutes is still ridiculous to me. That was the awesome stat. But then that was the first time we've lost at home after a road loss in like 35, 36 games. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect from this team in Vegas, man. I really don't, dude. Like I really don't.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, guys, because we could beat this Boise game over the head. It's a dead horse. It's in the past, and thank goodness it's in the past, right? I feel relieved. The tournament has now officially started in Vegas. It's officially started. On the ladies' side, they got a big win. They beat San Jose State tonight, so that deserves a highlight because we know a lot of people that are out there are already watching. So hopefully the ladies can get the mojo working for everyone. Get everyone. And when I saw Utah State pull out the victory over New Mexico, it assured us that number 5 seed, that 5 spot. And I know people are curious in the chat. They want to know, okay, what do we think about the matchup now? It's a fresh start in my mind. It's a fresh start. It's an opportunity, like what you're saying, Coach Mike. It's an opportunity. Okay, get back on the winning side of things, get some guys, back in the swing and let's get it moving. We got UNLV, guys. We got UNLV this Thursday, 2:30 p.m. Woo, I'm so glad it's not on a Wednesday. So glad because 4 games in 4 days, that was not an ideal situation. I can't believe New Mexico is going to be there in that play-in game. Boy, oh boy. But what are we thinking about UNLV? I know at the beginning of that Nevada UNLV grudge match rivalry game, I had put it out there. I said, man, I'd rather take UNLV in this game. I want that matchup. And we got it. I give you my thoughts and opinions. Fiend, what are your initial thoughts and opinions on this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because obviously they beat us. They're in desperation mode, right? Because they need to win the tournament to be able to get an NCAA bid. So it's survive in advance for them. Whereas we don't really have that urgency because we already have locked up a bid an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my question is, how hungry are these guys going to be going into the Mountain West tournament, and are they going to match that intensity that UNLV is playing at, because their postseason lives, are at stake? So I little concerned about that. UNLV, and to stay on the positive side, right? We've had 4 losses in the last month, I think. UNLV, Nevada, Utah State, and Boise State, right?
Yeah.
And so 3 of those 4, if you look back on the last month, 3 of those 4, according to Bart Torvik, are like top 35 in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And so Nevada, UNLV, and Boise State, all top 35 in the country. We've lost to some really, really good teams, and UNLV's hot. They've won like 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 11 or something like that. And maybe before they lost to Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is going to be a really tough game for us to win. And like Mike said, I don't know what to expect from this team. Like, this team could easily go to the championship game, win the title, or they could get knocked out against UNLV just as easily, So I haven't felt like that, low level of confidence since probably 2019.
I mean, everybody's feeling that, though.
Mhm.
Every single Mountain West team in this tournament is feeling that exact same pressure. I don't care if you're Utah State, if you're Nevada. Any game is winnable. Any game is losable. Mike, you're up there in East Tahoe, man. You're up there. We were this close to having to play Nevada in this Thursday matchup. I'm glad we're not, because as much as I don't really care for the Wolfpack, there's one thing that they definitely are. 2 things there definitely are. And one, very well coached. They are a very well coached team. That's a championship caliber coach they have up there in Alfred. And 2, they got some shooters that are just they're scorers. I mean, these are legit scorers that can take over a game if they get hot. UNLV, they got some ballers. They're hungry, like Fiend is saying. They got some dogs. They're hungry to turn that thing around. I'm not as confident in their coaching ability to make certain adjustments and to really, make some things happen. But they beat us already, so I mean, there is that opportunity there for them again. How do you feel as far as your preference on Nevada or UNLV, and how do you feel about this matchup against the running Rebels at 2:30?
I mean, you can only play who's on your schedule. I don't give a shit who we play now at this point, because you can't dictate. Who cares? I'll tell you what, though, I'm glad we're not playing Nevada, because we would not beat Nevada. They are the best team in the conference. I think they're the best all year. And they've come out and they
Are you just saying this?
I'm just being honest. They're the best team in the conference. Remember I said at the beginning of the year, I said if San Diego State doesn't win the conference, Nevada's going to win it. And obviously Utah State was the next factor, because Fiend said, like, if you bet $1,000 on Utah State, you would have won like $1 billion for them to win the conference. So it's obviously it's a road game. Now it's not a neutral court game, right? So I'll take it, man. Whatever, dude. You got to play who you got to play. Whoever's on your schedule, you're going to have to get through. Say you beat UNLV, then you would probably play Utah State. You're going to have to if the road is either you go through UNLV, Utah State, and then the winner of probably Nevada and Boise, unless Colorado State pulls magic and beats Nevada. Those are tough. I would love to play Nevada in the championship game, because Connor's going to be there, and Cody was just giving me a hard time. We were at dinner. He's like, "Oh, it's an expected win from us in UNLV. Sorry, you guys couldn't do it." So I made him pay the bill. But I'm fascinated to see this team. I'm cool with that matchup with UNLV, because we started 2 of 25 and we still he basically hit a game winner at the buzzer, Deon Thomas, essentially. To beat us. So let's just ride, man. Let's just see what happens, dude. That's all you can do. Like Pete said, they could win the next 3 or 4 in a row, or they could lose Thursday. And I wouldn't be shocked either way. I wouldn't be happy with their loss, but I wouldn't be shocked.
So essentially, Mike is saying, Aztec Nation, let's ride.
Yeah. Except not Russell Wilson, where he just imploded.
Mike, to your point, I mean, Nevada is according to Bart Torvik, the number 1 team in the Mountain West the last month. I mean, they're 18th in his rankings. If you look back and over 1 month period of time, they are playing the best in the Mountain West. And so, yeah, I mean, if just looking at those stats, probably would not want to play them either. Out of like Boise State, UNLV, and Nevada, Nevada would probably be my least favorite to play.
I actually like our bracket the way it is. Coincidentally, with Utah State beating New Mexico, it set us up with UNLV, not the most experienced team, a team we've dominated historically in the past. All the odds are on our favor. And if we get past that, it's a rematch with Utah State. I like that personally. I'm not going to say that Nevada is the best team in the conference. I think that's debatable, but for sure they're a tough matchup for us. I think tougher than what we would face in Utah State. But every game is going to be tough. Mike, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of disagree a little bit with Fiend. I don't worry at all about our players' ability to get focused on this game and come with intensity at all. That doesn't worry me at all. And the reason why I say that is that you have guys in very different roles this year. Ladie was not the star of last year's team. He was an important piece of it, an important cog, and made some great plays in both tournaments. But he is the star this year, and I think he wants to win a Mountain West championship and lead us to a title. I think Bird and Saunders, who were bench jockeys last year, they were great cheerleaders and they really helped out. But they are integral to what we do now off the bench. They are the energy off the bench. They're the depth that you might read about tomorrow in the article. They are what's going to help us. And so those guys want to contribute. They want to be part of a championship team. Jay Powell, I had a great postseason tournament for Campbell last year. I think that's one of the reasons why he's with us is because he was so good in the postseason last year. And so he wants to prove that wasn't just for that conference. He can also do it in the Mountain West. I think he's going to step up. How do you think Butler and Trammell want to go out? They don't want to go out without a championship, without raising a banner in their senior year for Viejas. Give me a break. There's no way that they're dreaming that that's how it's going to end for them. So I actually feel like we're going to be more focused than we've ever been all season long at this game against UNLV. And I do think the pressure goes to UNLV, Fiend, for exactly what you said. They're not in the NCAA tournament. They're not a lock. They're still striving for their lives. Okay, well, what happens if you start missing a few shots and the Aztecs get on top of you? And that defense that we're known for is holding you to a low percentage of threes. Do you feel a little more easy shooting in front of your home crowd that you're going to let them down? Or do you feel that pressure and your shot starts coming up a little short? I think the pressure goes to UNLV if we can get a lead and they can start missing some shots. So I kind of like it. So I kind of disagree a little bit with my colleagues here, who I respect a great deal. But I do think that we haven't seen us at our best in a while. And I think give Dutcher and crew, 5 days to get us ready for UNLV. He'll be ready. They'll be ready. I don't think it'll be like the bye situation that we've seen the last couple of times, where we haven't come out real good. I think we'll be set. And, I'll be surprised if we fall. It won't be a shock, but I think it will be a surprise. But then I also think that, going into the NCAA tournament, it's all about matchups. It's all about who are we going to see? What seed are we going to get? Who are we going to see? Are we going to be a 5, 6, 7? How do we fall? And let's just see who we match up with. We got a favorable matchup, I thought, last year in the first couple of rounds. And then we took care of business against Alabama. That's all we can hope for right now.
In terms of the Mountain West Conference, I'm interested to see, kind of what Sean's alluding to here is, okay, what kind of refereeing are we going to see? How are they going to let these games get played? Most importantly, with Jaden Ladie, how are they going to ref his style of play? How are they going to let him play? Is he going to get those favorable calls that we were used to seeing in the out of conference play? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be real interesting.
It's not even favorable calls. It's just fair calls. When the guy's got two guys hanging on his arm or somebody's slapping his arm and holding it down, he can't even raise it up over his shoulder because the guy's on top of him. And the ref's like, oh, didn't see it. No, didn't see it. Sorry. That's ridiculous. I mean, it's the same. I think his dad actually posted in social media about he didn't know that he was going to be raising a Shaq-like player, in the fact that, Ladie's kind of being ref the same way that Shaq was, where the refs don't want to call every single foul that they see that Ladie endures. It just would slow the game down to a crawl because he's getting hit almost every time. Steve Fisher was talking, Coach Fish was talking at a pregame before the Boise State. And he said that. He told the crowd, he said, look, Ladie gets fouled in almost every play. He said, but they're just not going to call that. And so, what you want is a fair game, right? If you're calling it one way at the beginning of the game, call it the same way in the second half. And he said when Dutcher got that technical, I think it was against UNLV, it was because he felt like they'd kind of changed how they were calling it. Like they went to halftime and said, "Hey, we're calling too many fouls. We got to change up things." And that was Coach Fisher's opinion. He doesn't know that for a fact, but he was sharing with us what he thought. And I think that's what I've always advocated is let's call a fair game, right? If you see a foul on Ledee because he's held and we hold their big guy, call the foul on us too. And we saw that with Parrish and Butler last game with some reach-in fouls with ticky-tack, but they got called. Okay, if Ledee gets hit like that, let's call that, please.
Right.
Let's make it just be fair. I don't want favorable. I just want fair.
He's the only player that's getting triple teamed in the whole Mountain West Conference. When they decide to call it fair, like what you're saying, Coach, it changes the dynamic of this team. Our scoring is different. Our offensive play is different. But when it's not hitting on that cylinder, that's a big missing component. And it's a different team than last year. Completely. The offense is different. He wasn't the focal point of the offense last year, like you pointed out a while ago. So it's taken a while to adjust, I think, with the way the Mountain West Conference has been officiated. Mike, we look forward to reading the article tomorrow. Everybody, make sure you're checking out sonsofmontezuma.com to get more insight from the coach. He always does some good stuff. Even if the coach is for softball, man, we'll have to circle back. We'll have to circle back when we get into some softball talk, because we will be getting into some softball talk for all you softball fans.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's why I won't be in Vegas. We've got 5 games. Actually, no, we got 6 games this week. We play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and 2 games on Saturday. It's a busy week for Helix softball this week. Got a big win yesterday, but very busy schedule this week. So that's why I can't get out. But you all hold down the fort. You'll represent Suns fantastically. Can't wait to hear all about it.
We won't give you too hard of a time, right, guys? He's got good things going on at Helix, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wish you were there, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
But maybe we'll meet up in the Final Four again.
Yeah, let's get out to Arizona. Let's get out to Arizona.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Thanks again, Mike. We'll see you next time.
All right, check it out.
Peace. Oh, hope he's okay. I don't know if he fell.
Slammed laptop. He slammed laptop.
Mamba out. All right, guys. what are we gonna get into next, guys? Because this is well, I know we were gonna make some of our votes going. We can get into that in a little bit. Right? Back to the chat a little bit. All right. If you guys are making it to Vegas, let us know. Steve A. Viejas North will completely be filled with Aztecs fans and give us a huge advantage. Our winning percentage up there is unbelievable. It's true. It is true. Viejas. What do you say? Viejas North? Is that Viejas North, East?
Is that my guy? Did he join? Steven Ashworth? Is he in the
Oh, Stephen Ashworth.
Hey.
He acknowledges that it's Viejas North, the Thomas and Mack. Thank you, Steve A.
Like just dropping a little dime here, but that other side of the bracket is rough, bro. Because you have potentially Nevada versus, I think, Colorado State, and then Boise against New Mexico. I'm assuming Colorado State is going to be San Jose State, and New Mexico is going to be. Stranger things have happened, right? Nevada lost to an 11 seed when they're the 3, but that other side is wild. But you get UNLV that beat you the buzz. You get Utah State that we've had trouble with in the conference tournament, and then you probably get the winner of either Nevada and Boise. That's a good tournament, dude. Tournament.
Other than Utah State is probably the team that is going to have the easiest road to the semifinals because they get to play Wyoming or Fresno State. It's like this clear, drop off from the 7th seed on down, and that bottom of the bracket is going to be really tough. And our game will as well. So there's 3 really, really tough games in that quarterfinal that any of the teams could win.
And we've been a beneficiary of that for multiple years. So it's just they that's what happens.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. Okay. Yeah, all right, guys. I'm loving the
Wyoming's
headsets, guys. You guys are
no,
rocking the headsets.
it,
Like
it was
you guys should be operating PowerPoints or like calling folks up. Like you're the winner of a telethon. Like need some money for NIL. We got
Yeah, we're
selling
gonna have a
socks. You
Sons
guys
of
want to?
Money telethon.
You guys can
We're
call up
ready.
people, sell some socks. You guys can just. You got the
this was
headsets. Yeah, I
this
like it.
was a beautiful gift from SD Sports Fiend because he said it sounded terrible with my earbuds, and I couldn't get it to work last one. I could hear you guys, but I couldn't hear. And he's like, "Oh, you I can't believe you didn't wear it." And I accused him of sending me a faulty one to mess with me. So it worked this time. So it looks. I don't know if I sound better or not, but
You don't sound like you're underwater now.
Braden said he's gonna hit up the Big West tournament and lots of the Pac tournament there at the T-Mobile. Are they still at the T-Mobile, the Pac-12?
Yeah.
Probably their last year, right? Pac-12 in existence. So
Yeah, I would like
are we
to
gonna go
see
anywhere else?
Rashad. I'd like to
No.
go see Rashad play it,
Mhm.
with Arizona. But
No.
the problem is, I think that they're playing like each round around the same time that we're playing. So if we continue to advance and they continue to advance, I don't know how that's going to work out to be able to see them play.
Yeah. All right, Braden. We'll keep an eye out, though. I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Oh, I love it. I love it, Team Mac. Looking like some yeah, you guys wanna supersize that? You guys wanna supersize that?
Yeah, I'm not going to
Some
any of the
ranch.
games. I'm
Get
not
some
going to any
ranch.
of their games. I'm not. I'm going to go see my cousin who lives out there. I'm going to hang out with Bagnus and Bill Hammett and chill with you guys. Andy Serrano's coming. I'm excited about Andy.
Yeah.
I don't, dude. I have a 5-year-old. I love my little girl, but like, I don't need to be running around everywhere. We're gonna go hit up that Taco Bell cantina. That place is epic, bro. So
Let us know. Let us know in the comments, guys. Where's your favorite place to go in Vegas for the Mountain West tournament? Because we want to do it all. I want to do it all. I don't know about the Whataburger. If I eat Whataburger, I'm gonna eat it in Texas. I'm not gonna eat it in Las Vegas. I'm not gonna eat it there. Or Tacos El Gordo. I went there last time. I don't know if I want
wasn't
to
good.
go though in Las Vegas again. It's just not the same. It hits different. But Taco Bell Cantina, that hits different as well on the strip. I like that.
Yeah,
That hits different.
that was fun.
Absolutely. Okay, can we get back to
Yes.
basketball talk? Oh, Steve A is back. 3 wins in the Mountain West tournament. Piece of cake. March tournaments is where Dutch and the team shines. It's where they shine. It's where they
I
shine.
really like, what Dutch said in one of the press conferences where he said, look, hard work is not rewarded immediately. Like,
Yeah.
we're working really hard. We've lost some close games. We're going to get rewarded, for the hard work eventually. And so I do like that perspective and that faith that he has in his guys, keep them confident, that, hey, you keep putting in the work, you're going to see a reward from it. And so, hopefully that comes true for us in the Mountain West tournament.
Yeah. No, I heard that too. That caught my attention as well. Kind of scrolling back up. I know we didn't really give it any shine in the comments. I want to say DJ Dubs was pointing out some of the toxicity of some of the goofball fans out there, giving the guys a rough time because they lost a game in overtime, right? The only game at home all season, they lost it. Okay, I get it. But it's like, listen to coach. Believe what he's saying. They're working their tails off. You know what I mean? Like it's not like they're out there hot dogging it. they are trying to win. They're working their tails off. If it doesn't reveal itself, all that hard work immediately, well, good things come to those who wait, hopefully, right? Hopefully.
And sports is such a compaction of life, because there's only a certain amount of games where each year in your job you have exponentially more times to make that up. So yeah, hard work doesn't necessarily pay off all the time in sports. The luck of it's the human element. The luck, the ball bounces one way, bounces another way. So you could work your butt off. Like I said, you could do the same thing and win one game and lose the other. So like, I get what he's saying, but to me, it's like, my job is like, I could do everything right and still not get right some piece of business, but I could get it next year. So, that like I get what he's saying, but like sometimes just the stuff doesn't go your way, and there's not as a lot of opportunities in 32 game season that we've had. I don't know if this year we've had bad luck this year, but we just haven't had great luck, like some of these other teams. So, yeah, in terms of the fans, like everybody's a keyboard warrior, bro. Like everybody just hides behind the internet and hides behind text messages and posts and stuff. And it's like, dude, like we've all been there. We've all been there where we say something and we're like, shit, probably could have handled that a little bit better, which is probably gonna be my autobiography. Mike Torlot story, probably could have handled that a little bit better, right? And we've had issues with people, and we haven't, but like people who hide behind that, like as I've grown up and have a daughter, if don't say anything that you wouldn't say to that person to their face. You know what I mean? Like if you can't, because what happens if you see that person? Murphy's Law is like is going to put you in front of that person at some point, and then it's like, how are you going to react to that? You know what I mean? So, like these people on the internet, man. Like I know we're on it and stuff. I don't look at the message boards. It's silly, man. These are good kids trying to ball out, go to class, hang out with their friends, and we're critical on them. But that's kind of, I think, in a sense, what we're supposed to do here and there, right? We have this platform. So dude, just don't go on message boards, dude. What do you like? It's like getting into a political argument on Facebook. You're not going to change anybody's viewpoint. It's going to be they're going to be the same shit, right? So like, just I don't know. I stay off that as much as I can, but it's just disappointing to see the toxicity because we have such a high ceiling of where we think we should be, and we think we should win every game, and that's just not how it works sometimes. You know what I mean? That's what's amazing. Some of these players who are great every year. You get to see how much work that actually is, and how look at obviously Kobe's an anomaly and Jordan and stuff, but look how fantastic they were every year. That's unbelievable work ethic and stuff like that, and you get some luck with it too. So just stay off the message boards, man. That's my suggestion.
Stay off the internet, guys. Just don't go on the internet. Only to watch the Sons of Montezuma live stream. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
Yeah, internet is a cesspool of chaos, man.
Very, very well said, man. Very, very well said. Very well said.
I know it was a long time. Bean wants to put the shot clock. Bean wants to put the shot clock back on me.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man.
So we're talking about luck. Ken Pomeroy actually has a metric for luck.
Here we go. A metric for luck. Here we go, guys.
I don't know how he calculates this, but we are out of 351 D1 teams, we are the 274th most unlucky team in Division One. We are a minus 0.036. Again, I don't know how he calculates that. One of the luckiest teams in Division One is Nevada. They are 0.073, so 7%, 7.3, 33rd in Division One. So they've been a very lucky team. Boise's been lucky. I think Utah State's also been lucky. And yeah, so you know what? I'm just hoping that luck will be on our side in Vegas. And that's all we can hope for.
You have to have some of that. You have to have some luck. Like when we ran to the national championship last year, we had luck was on our side, man. Like it's not always luck. It's a lot of hard work. But there was some, like we had some breaks go our way.
Yeah, we had a favorable call. We had a favorable call at the end of the Creighton game. That could have easily been a non-call, right? And gone to overtime. They called the foul. Tramel hits one free throw, and we go to the Final Four.
Yep.
I don't know if I put that as luck. That's a break, though. That's a break. It's a break. Absolutely. It was a great play. It was a great play to draw in the foul.
It was a great call. Yeah, great draw. He drew the foul. 100% foul.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm loving what you started, Mike. You're bringing back the Let's Ride, Rich. Yes, in Dutch we trust. Positive thoughts. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Oh boy, bringing it back, Mike. What's going on? You're a trendsetter these days. These headsets are going to do wonders. They're going to catch on as well.
Where did Where did I bring it back from? Did we say that, or was that's Russell Wilson, right? Or is that? Did that?
Let's ride.
I don't even know where I brought it back from. To be honest with you.
Aztec Nation.
Oh, okay.
Let's do it.
I just saw that Russell just signed with the Steelers, and that's why I used the Let's Ride. It was for 1 year, but
Let's
I
ride.
don't
That's
know,
actually
man.
pretty good. I like that fit. Actually.
For
man.
1 year. Yeah, absolutely. They need a quarterback.
Tomlin, he's a G.
So we're 20th in Ken Palm, but 276 out of 350 in luck.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How but that and Nevada. Like, listen, I'm up here a lot. I talked to a lot of people, and I just kind of knew that they would be good. I just had a feeling, So the other thing too is I don't believe Mashburn played against Utah State. I don't know what happened. He's
illness. Yeah, they
he's
said
sick?
he had an illness, but
Okay.
they didn't disclose what it was. So I imagine he'll be back for the Mountain West Conference tournament. Be surprised if he's out.
Yeah, absolutely. But this will be a really fun one, man. Like I'm like I haven't gone to many as you guys, but I was like, let's see what happens. I got the shades, the blenders. The wife put the blenders on. She looks, but I look terrible in them, man. I'm not wearing. I tried, and Fiend's like, you look, bro. No. So I gave my nephew got one, and then my wife got one. So, but they look. I mean, I think they're cool. Unfortunately, they just don't fit my face. So, but everybody got them. I hope they're happy with them, and I think they look awesome. It's a great thing they did for State.
Guys, do we need to get into our awards time? Fiend, you need to fill us in on the Oscars because we wanted to go a little earlier. But Oppenheimer won the movie of the year?
Yeah, Oppenheimer was cleaning. Yeah. Leading.
I tried to watch it. It was I really need to just focus in on that movie. It's so long and serious.
It is long,
kind of brooding.
It's really good.
Cillian Murphy is dope though. I loved him in obviously in Peaky Blinders was awesome. Love Peaky Blinders.
We're not going to talk about the wildest moment of the Oscars. John Cena coming out naked.
I didn't watch. He came out naked.
John Cena, yeah. Did you see that?
I did not see that. No.
Yeah, he came out. Well, he had a card in front of his but he came out naked for best costume design. But
Friendly fire.
Oh boy, I don't know about that.
Wow.
Yeah, I would too.
I need to stay off the internet.
Peaky
Blinders movie coming soon. Mr. Simpkins, is that true? But
I haven't seen that one either.
I don't know about that. The sister passed away in real life.
Mm.
In real life, she passed away. So I don't know who they would have her play. Anyways, that'd be interesting. Okay, sure. Guys, okay, do we need to get into our awards before we wrap things up? We are running past a little over an hour. Thank you guys for sticking around. We are going to be in Vegas. We are going to be there. We're going to be delivering a lot of content to you guys. Hopefully the team E-Host will be out there. The Kiss the Rings crew, of course. Even K5 James from the football side is going to be out there. So Sons of Monty team is going to have you guys covered. We're going to have you guys covered, showing you exactly what is going on at the Mountain West tournament if you cannot make it yourself. If you are going to make it, let us know in the comments. Let us know where you're going to be at. We're trying to get some things situated, hopefully for some post-game wrap-up type of action for the Sons of Montezuma live stream podcast, all that good stuff. But you guys want to do it? How do you guys want to approach this with the awards? How do you guys want to approach this? You guys, who would obviously be your coach of the year? I feel like this is such an obvious one.
Sprinkle. That's easy.
It's got to be Sprinkle. Yeah.
It's got to be Sprinkle, right? I mean,
it'll be unanimous. It'll be unanimous too.
Yeah.
As it should be. I mean, it's incredible what they've done there. You know, it makes me sick, but they have a legit program. They make excellent hires. And Utah, the state of Utah, they support their athletics, which is frustrating, but it is what it is. Great job from him. What else? What else is on the docket for awards? So
yeah, freshman of the year.
Okay.
Freshman of the year. That's a great category. I mean, are there ties in these categories? Because I mean, I think it's obviously a tie, or is it an obvious tie?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that it would be between Deion Thomas Jr. from UNLV and JT Toppin from New Mexico, but I think JT Toppin has been the better player. And so I would have to give JT Toppin the nod for freshman of the year.
Yeah,
T-Mac agrees with you. Yeah, you think so too, Mike?
I agree. Well, he's been the most consistent. He's been consistent all year. Where Deion has
Yeah.
kind of taken a little while to get going, and now he's playing well. But
Yeah.
Toppin has been
Yeah.
Toppin has been great all year.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that's a tough one. I want to agree with you guys on that. I'm just so impressed with Deion Thomas and being able to put UNLV in that position. That's tough. That's tough, man. I mean, they've always had the stars, but he's really the one driving that thing and making it happen. But I'll agree with you guys. Toppin is he's a special player, man. He's NBA caliber, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What's
So
next?
the
What do you guys want to do?
Newcomer of the year.
You were reading my mind. Newcomer of the year. I'm gonna say Osabor. I think Osabor qualifies as newcomer of the year. That's first year coming over to Utah State. He's a load. He's very talented. He's a very skilled big man. He's got the physical attributes, and he's also leading that team, I believe. Of
Mhm.
course they got Moore there at the point guard spot. Isn't
Yeah.
last name Moore, right? But
I would
mean,
go
day in
yeah.
and day out. That would be my
Okay.
guy.
So yeah, I mean that's a great pick. I mean, Great Osborne has been just fantastic for them. He's putting up,
Yeah.
I'd say, not as good of numbers as Jaden Ledee, but pretty close. He's been very solid, and he's just a great passer too. But the guy that I would take for newcomer of the year is on his same team, Darius Brown, just for the fact that he has hit all those clutch shots to win games for them at the end. Making the big shots when they needed it. So I would definitely, it could go either way, but I'd pick Darius Brown.
But was Danny Sprinkle kind of like lobbying for Darius Brown? Did he say he had some comments? Was he talking about Brown at the? I don't know if you caught that at the end of after they won and they rushed the court and they asked him, and he was saying something about Darius Brown or Osabor, like they should be the player of the year, and it's like not even a debate or something like that. It was something kind of tricky to that effect.
I mean, you could make that argument because they won the outright championship, so maybe one of them deserve it. But I think what's going to happen is those votes are probably going to cancel each other out, right? So I'm not sure that they're going to win. Either one's going to win Player of the Year. Do we want to move right into Player of the Year?
I don't know, Mike. Do you got an opinion on that one? You got an opinion on that one, or is it toss up for you, a newcomer?
I'd probably go Osabor if I had to. I just think he's been so consistent for them all year, and he's been a solid player, man. But Brown, I would probably go Osabor, then Brown is my 1-2 and newcomers of the year if I had to vote.
Here's the tough one: defensive player of the year.
Ooh.
That's a tough one. That is a really, really, really tough one.
Okay, I was thinking about this today. To me, it's Lamont. But if you had to throw Lamont out, who would it be? If you couldn't pick Lamont.
Well, JT Toppin is the block shot leader, and Jalen House is the steals leader. So if you're just looking at stats, that type of stuff, I mean, how do you gauge who's more important to their team? I mean, who's come up with memorable stops? I don't know how you gauge that, but
yeah,
I would put House, to be honest with you. I would, and that pains me to say it, but he's so disruptive, and this year he has. When you think of a disrupting presence out there, okay, he's got the antics, so maybe that kind of draws your attention to see it. But I like Andrew what he's saying, Mont, but House is a pest. He's a pest. I mean, I love Lamont. I think Lamont is kind of proven that he's shut guys down. But it's tough, man. It's tough when you got the stats and you got the antics, and it's kind of like, what do you think, Fiend?
I would take Lamont definitely, but if I couldn't take Lamont, I mean, House is definitely a great defender. He'd probably be on the first team, all defense. Same thing with JT Toppin. But the other guy that is like a lockdown defender for his team is Trey Coleman for Nevada. And Nevada has just been a great defensive team, and he's a big part of that, being able to erase, the other team's best, guard. And so, yeah, I probably would give it to him if I couldn't give it to Lamont.
Okay. You guys want to wrap it up for the player of the year? Is this where we're headed at?
It's
Is this where we're headed?
It's easy.
Yeah, it's easy.
Okay, here's the question though, because I think it's easy, right? Jaden Ledee is putting up an All-American season. The numbers don't dispute it. Nobody gets triple teamed like Jay. Nobody is feared like Jay. I think the Mountain West Conference doesn't want the Aztecs. I'm a conspiracy theorist to a point. I don't think they want us to take over and dominate, so they got to adjust accordingly. But according to the voters and all the way things shake out, can you give the Player of the Year award to a 5th seed team? Can you do that?
Yeah, but they did it last year. It was a 4th seed team. Didn't Amari Moore win last year for San Jose State?
Yeah. Were they a 4 seed?
I think we played them in the semis, right?
Yeah, I don't think
we were the number 1 seed, and they were the 4th or 5th seed.
Wow, that's impressive for them.
Yeah, it definitely can be done. I think it needs to go to the best player. I mean, if it just happens, if it's like a tie, right? There's 2 players who are just neck and neck. You definitely got to give it to the player on the team that finished higher in the standings or won the conference. But I don't think necessarily, you have to give a player on the number 1 team in the conference the Player of the Year award. Like I said, Utah State, you could just as easily say Great Osobor and Darius Brown. Either one of those guys could win it.
Okay. All right. Well, I think it's unanimous between us. Ledee should be Player of the Year. I don't think there's any reason why he shouldn't. I think everybody in the chat, of course, should agree with that. Mikey B fact checking us says San Jose State was a 5 seed. So hopefully he's correct on that. Appreciate that. Well, I think that'll about do it for the awards. I'm sure there's other obscure awards that we can give out there. The best student section is got to be the Aztecs. Got to be the show. But it's all good. All good. Guys, I appreciate you guys joining us. It's running long, running late. We'll be back more this week with more content. We thank you guys for joining the stream. And hopefully we'll be able to shut this down because, anytime we go a little long, computer starts acting a little wonky.
Wonky donkey. Oh, he's gone. Hey, we're going to talk about him?
Sure. What do you want to talk about? What do you guys want to talk about?
Mateo's computer issues. No, we'll look forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you on. Hey, by the way, everybody wish Mr. SD Sports Fiend a happy birthday tomorrow. I'm sorry, tomorrow or Tuesday?
Tuesday,
sorry.
But it runs all week through the Mountain West tournament, and it culminates with a victory on Saturday. So that's what I'm hoping for. My birthday week wish.
Yes. Well, we lost Matt. So thanks everybody for joining. We'll let him I don't know where he go. I don't know what happens here. So hey, go Aztecs. Hopefully see everybody in Vegas, and we'll see you everybody on Thursday.
All right, go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs.
I don't think we can shut this down, can we?
Oh, we can't, dude. We can't. So what are we going to talk about? Are you tweeting right now? 11 years ago. By the way, did you see 11 years ago today? DeAndre Jordan had that dunk over that dude. Remember that nasty dunk he had over the guy, and he came back. He was like, DeAndre Jordan got some of the best faces in all that stuff. You know what I mean? So
yeah, he's a great dunker.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see this tournament, man. Like, I just hope these guys kind of.
Did you guys already get tickets?
I think so. I think we got tickets.
These tickets for this tournament are the most expensive quarterfinal tickets that I purchased since I've been going to the Mountain West. I mean, I couldn't believe how expensive they were for the lower bowl. I mean, you can get the upper bowl general admission; they're pretty cheap. I mean, they're but I think I said it a couple episodes ago. Like the demand for the Mountain West tournament this year is going to be the highest it's ever been, and so you can expect those ticket prices to be a little higher than what you paid, in the past. So, it's it's going to cost me some money, but it'll be worth it if we cut down those nets on Saturday.
That would be beautiful, man. That would be a great way to, because this team's going to be remembered by what they do in the Mountain West tournament and the NCAA tournament. You know what I mean? Whatever happened in the regular season is the regular season, but teams get remembered based on what they do. So if we can win the Mountain West tournament, hang another banner, that'd be awesome, and give us some momentum going into, because we're right now we're either a 5 or 6 seed. I think we're a 6 seed. Nevada's shooting up that thing. I don't know, man. Like if Nevada were to win the Mountain West tournament, they could be a 4 seed. It'd be interesting to see whoever wins this tournament, what their seeding is going to be, so it'll be fun. It's going to be fun, man.
I don't think we're going to drop any lower than like a 6 seed.
I hope so. I mean,
I don't see us really dropping to like a 7th or 8th seed, even if we lose to UNLV. But you're right, Nevada, even maybe Boise State, at Utah State. I mean, they could all climb in the seedings going into Selection Sunday. I think with New Mexico, they absolutely have to win 2 games to even get in the tournament. Like at this point, if they lose to Air Force, they're done. Yeah. But I think even if they lose to Boise State in the quarters, I don't think they have enough quad 1 wins to be able to get in the tournament. I think there's some of these like teams from the Power 5 conferences who are going to be able to, get some quad 1 wins in their tournaments, and they're going to pass up the Lobos. So the Lobos absolutely, they have to get 2 if they want to get in. They got to win 2.
And I think UNLV has to win the tournament to get in.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't lose to Southern University at the beginning of the year. And I think that they lost to Air Force at home too, right?
They got blown out by, I think, 30.
It got blown out, right? So
he's back.
You guys miss me? Did you guys miss me?
We did. We didn't know what to do.
Can we leave?
Were you singing Michael Bolton?
Tell me. Michael Bolton's best song is the Pirates of the Caribbean one from Saturday Night Live.
Love it. Yeah, definitely.
Have you seen that? It's not, watch it. Google it. It's so funny, dude. It's so funny. So look forward to it. We'll see you guys on I don't know if I'll see you Wednesday night, man. I'm probably getting too late, but I'll see you.
All right. I'll make the most of it. If you guys are out there in Vegas on Wednesday, let me know. Make the most of it. Thank you guys for bearing with me. All the issues, computer issues, all that good stuff, but really appreciate it. Everybody, we'll see you next time. Let these guys get some rest and start the week off right on a Monday. We're claiming it. Victory Monday. We're claiming it. The Aztec women team won, so it's still Victory Monday. Let's do this.
Yeah, DJ Dubs, Indiana State's in for sure because of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That dude's, there's no way they leave that dude out of the Mountain West or out of the NCAA tournament. He's in for sure, dude.
Kareem.
Like there's a Jerry Palm's projections. We played them in the first round, 6-11, which should be great. I'm just interested to see the tournaments, how everything plays out because there's going to be anarchy like always, and then how they seed everybody. You know what I mean? So this week is like these are my 2 favorite weeks. The most amount of vasectomies happened the first week of the NCAA tournament. Did you know that? It's true because people schedule like out because they're like, well, we gotta sit there with an ice pack on. We can't do anything. So they just sit there for 4 days and watch basketball. It's ideal. It's pretty smart actually. You know, it's nuts. You know.
Well, we're gonna tie this show on that end and call it a day on that one. Yeah,
it's tied up like a vasectomy.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks everybody for joining.
Put a ball in.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for putting up with us. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Everybody, have a great night. Peace. Go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs. See you in Vegas.